Welcome back to NBC Update channel. Today, we bring you heartbreaking and shocking news from the world of television and film. Beloved Days of Our Lives star Sally Kirkland has passed away at the age of 84. Reports confirm that the veteran actress died early this morning following severe complications from a tragic accident that led to a dangerous blood infection. Our hearts go out to her family, friends, and fans during this time of loss. Please take a moment to send your thoughts and condolences to her loved ones as the entertainment industry mourns one of its most respected icons. A tragic end after a sudden accident. Shocking news has swept through Hollywood. Just days ago, Sally Kirkland was involved in an unfortunate accident that left her hospitalized in Palm Springs. What began as a minor injury quickly escalated when a serious blood infection developed, leading to fatal complications. Despite the best efforts of doctors, the infection spread rapidly, and early this morning, Kirkland peacefully passed away surrounded by close friends and family. According to her publicist, Michael Green, Kirkland had been under intensive care for several days. Green confirmed that, while she initially appeared stable, her condition worsened overnight. Sally fought with courage and grace, he said. She was a true artist, even in her final moments. A life devoted to art and storytelling. For decades, Sally Kirkland captivated audiences with her raw talent, her intensity, and her deep emotional presence on screen. Born in 1941 in New York City, Kirkland began her artistic journey in the 1960s, training under legendary acting coaches and immersing herself in the world of off-Broadway theater. Her early years were defined by risk-taking and dedication, often choosing roles that challenged social norms and pushed artistic boundaries. By the late 1970s, Kirkland had become a recognizable face in both independent cinema and television. Her career exploded in the 1980s when she starred in Anna, a role that would change her life forever. The 1987 film earned her the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Motion Picture and an Academy Award nomination, catapulting her into Hollywood's elite. Yet, those who knew her say she never let fame change her. She remained deeply connected to her craft, her faith, and her fans. Days of Our Lives and the soap opera legacy. Soap opera fans will forever remember Sally Kirkland for her unforgettable portrayal of Tracy Simpson on Days of Our Lives in the late 1990s. Though her time on the show was relatively brief, her performance left a lasting impression. She brought depth and emotional power to the character, balancing strength and vulnerability in every scene. In interviews, Kirkland often spoke about how much she loved working on Days of Our Lives, describing it as one of the most rewarding experiences of her career. "It's a family," she once said. "When you step onto that set, you feel the history, the love, and the responsibility to the audience who have been watching for generations." Her co-stars frequently praised her professionalism and kindness. Several cast members took to social media this morning to express their sorrow. One wrote, "Sally was a force of nature, generous, wise, and endlessly curious. She lifted every scene she was in. A star beyond Salem." While many fans knew her from Days of Our Lives, Kirkland's career stretched far beyond the soap opera world. She appeared in over 200 film and television productions throughout her lifetime, a testament to her tireless work ethic and immense versatility. Her credits included guest appearances in iconic television series such as Charlie's Angels, Roseanne, Valley of the Dolls, Criminal Minds, and Wanted. She also took part in memorable film roles in Cold Feet, JFK, Bruce Almighty, Best of the Best, and Painted Red. Each project reflected her willingness to explore different genres and collaborate with both emerging and established filmmakers. Even in her later years, Kirkland continued to challenge herself artistically. In 2024, she worked on Sallywood, a semi-autobiographical film about a woman obsessed with the glamorous yet unforgiving world of Hollywood. The film was both a love letter to her own career and a reflection on the sacrifices artists make for their craft. An artist with a spiritual heart. Beyond her on-screen success, Sally Kirkland was a deeply spiritual person who believed that art had the power to heal. She often spoke about her devotion to meditation and holistic health, seeing creativity as a form of divine expression. Friends recall her hosting small gatherings at her Los Angeles home, where artists, writers, and musicians came together to discuss life, faith, and the pursuit of truth through art. Her godson, filmmaker Cody Galloway, shared an emotional message this morning, saying, "Sally was not just my godmother, she was my mentor, my guiding light." She taught me to see beauty in struggle and to never lose faith in humanity. Kirkland is also survived by her cousins Tina, Brooke, and Catherine, who described her as a woman with an unbreakable spirit and a heart full of compassion. Remembering Sally's grace and courage. As Hollywood reflects on Sally Kirkland's passing, many remember her not only as a performer, but as a teacher, mentor, and advocate for the arts. She frequently volunteered her time mentoring young actors, helping them navigate the emotional challenges of the industry. Her wisdom, drawn from decades of experience, inspired countless people to pursue their dreams with authenticity and integrity. Her colleagues describe her as fearless, someone who faced both life's triumphs and tragedies with equal grace. Those who worked with her on set often recalled her laughter, her sense of humor, and her ability to make even the most stressful days lighter with a simple smile or joke. In the end, Sally Kirkland's story is not one of sorrow, but of a life fully lived filled with purpose, love, and creative fire. Though her final days were marked by tragedy, her legacy will live on in every performance, every role, and every heart she touched. A farewell to a Hollywood legend. Today, the entertainment world bows its head in mourning. The loss of Sally Kirkland is a painful reminder of how fragile life can be and how quickly even the brightest lights can fade. Yet her brilliance, both as an artist and as a human being, will continue to inspire future generations. As fans, we can honor her memory by revisiting her films, celebrating her achievements, and remembering the incredible woman behind the screen. Sally Kirkland's journey may have ended, but her spirit, like the stories she told, will live forever. From all of us here at NBC News, we extend our heartfelt condolences to Sally Kirkland's family, friends, and fans around the world. Rest in peace, Sally. Your artistry, courage, and light will never be forgotten. Part 2. A Bond That Wouldn't Break. How Lindsay Godfrey walked beside Suzanne Rogers through her cancer battle. When Suzanne Rogers, the beloved star who has brought Maggie Horton to life on Days of Our Lives for decades, quietly received her diagnosis of stage 2 colorectal cancer, she faced a decision that had nothing to do with medicine. It was a deeply personal choice about whether to share her struggle with the world or bear it alone behind closed doors. In that moment of uncertainty, when fear and doubt can feel overwhelming, one voice rose above the noise with gentle but firm encouragement. That voice belonged to Lindsay Godfrey, her co-star and friend, who understood something profound. Sometimes the greatest strength comes not from fighting alone, but from letting others walk beside you. The news of Rogers' cancer diagnosis sent ripples of concern through the soap opera community and touched the hearts of millions of fans who have watched her character navigate life's joys and sorrows in Salem for generations. But while viewers saw only the polished performance that continued on their screens, behind the scenes a different kind of drama was unfolding and marked not by scripts and stage directions, but by genuine human connection, unwavering support, and the kind of friendship that doesn't waver when times get hard. The courage to speak out. Godfrey, who portrays the complex and resilient Sarah Horton on the long-running NBC soap opera, recently sat down with Us magazine at the show's milestone 60th anniversary celebration. As she spoke about her relationship with Rogers, it became immediately clear that this wasn't simply a colleague offering polite words about a coworker. This was a woman describing a bond that had been tested by one of life's most difficult challenges and had emerged stronger for it. In those early days following Rogers' diagnosis, uncertainty hung heavy in the air. Rogers wrestled with whether to make her health battle public knowledge. It's a struggle many people face when confronting serious illness: the question of how much to share, who deserves to know, and whether opening up about vulnerability might somehow make you seem weaker. For someone in the public eye, that decision carries additional weight. Would fans be upset? Would it affect her career? Would people treat her differently? Godfrey saw her friend grappling with these questions and knew exactly what needed to be said. She recalled those pivotal conversations with remarkable clarity. At first, she was a little bit reticent about it. I think we had a conversation where I said, if people don't know, they won't know. You want people to know. You'll find strength in it. Those words carried the weight of experience and the wisdom of someone who understood a fundamental truth about human nature. When we hide our struggles, we also hide our humanity. When we share our battles, we give others permission to do the same. Godfrey wasn't pushing Rogers to make a spectacle of her illness or to seek attention. She was encouraging her friend to tap into a source of strength that only comes from community and connection. Finding strength in honesty. The decision to go public transformed Rogers' journey in ways that extended far beyond her personal experience. Godfrey explained the reasoning behind her encouragement with thoughtfulness and care. "For me, with Suzanne, I encouraged her to be open about it," she said, understanding that Rogers' honesty wouldn't just help her, it would ripple outward, touching countless lives. And that's exactly what happened. When Rogers shared her diagnosis and her determination to fight, she became more than an actress battling cancer. She became a beacon of hope for viewers facing their own health struggles. Suddenly, people watching from their living rooms saw themselves reflected in this strong woman who refused to let cancer define her story. They saw someone choosing courage over fear, community over isolation, and transparency over hiding. This wasn't a performance crafted for dramatic effect. This was real life unfolding with all its raw edges and uncertain outcomes. Rogers was fighting for her health, undergoing the grueling treatments that anyone who has faced cancer knows all too well, exhaustion that seeps into your bones during chemotherapy. The way radiation can leave you feeling like a shadow of yourself, the moments of doubt that creep in during the darkest hours of the night. But she wasn't fighting alone. And that made all the difference. A foundation built over years. The strength of the support Godfrey provided didn't materialize out of thin air when crisis struck. It was built on a foundation that had been carefully constructed over years of working together, laughing together, and simply being present in each other's lives. This wasn't a fair-weather friendship that only showed up for the good times. It was something deeper and more enduring. Godfrey speaks about their connection with the kind of certainty that comes from knowing something in your bones. "From the moment we met, we knew we were a family," she explained, her words carrying the weight of truth that doesn't need embellishment. There was no searching for the right phrase, no hesitation. The bond was simply there, as real and solid as the ground beneath their feet. This sense of chosen family is something many people over 65 understand intimately. As we move through life, we discover that family isn't always determined by blood relations. Sometimes the people who show up for us most consistently, who understand us most completely, and who love us most unconditionally are the ones we choosier who choose us. The relationships we build through shared experiences, mutual respect, and genuine care can rival or even surpass the bonds we're born into. For Rogers and Godfrey, the days of our live set had become more than a workplace. It was where they spent countless hours together, where they shared meals during breaks, where they celebrated each other's successes and supported each other through challenges. These weren't just co-workers reading lines together. They were women who had woven their lives together in the way that happens when you spend years showing up for each other, day after day, scene after scene. Through the valley of shadows. When Rogers began her cancer treatment, she entered a period that tests even the strongest spirit. Chemotherapy doesn't just attack cancer cells, it attacks your sense of normalcy, your physical strength, your emotional reserves. Radiation therapy brings its own set of challenges, leaving patients depleted and struggling to maintain their usual routines. For someone accustomed to the demanding schedule of a soap opera, where scenes are shot quickly and the pace never lets up, continuing to work while undergoing treatment required extraordinary determination. But Rogers had resources to draw upon that extended beyond her own considerable strength. She had her faith, which provided spiritual grounding when everything else felt uncertain. She had her family, who rallied around her with love and practical support. And she had her chosen family of friends and colleagues who understood the unique challenges she faced and who showed up consistently, predictably, and with genuine care. Godfrey was at the heart of that support network. She understood what it meant to be present for someone walking through fear. She knew that sometimes the most important thing you can do for someone facing a health crisis isn't to offer advice or solutions, but simply to hold their hand and remind them they're not alone. The universal truth we all need to hear. As Godfrey reflected on Rogers' journey and her role in supporting her friend, she touched on something that resonates far beyond the world of soap operas or even cancer specifically. It's important that we, as human beings, know that we're not alone, whether it's our physical health, our mental health, or whatever, she explained with conviction. These words capture a truth that becomes increasingly clear as we age and accumulate life experience. None of us are meant to walk through our darkest valleys alone. Whether we're facing a serious illness, struggling with mental health challenges, grieving a loss, or simply feeling overwhelmed by life's demands, the human experience is fundamentally one of connection and community. Too often, Especially in American culture, with its emphasis on independence and self-reliance, we convince ourselves that asking for help is a sign of weakness. We tell ourselves we should be able to handle things on our own. We hide our struggles behind forced smiles and reassurances that everything's fine, but this isolation only makes our burdens heavier and our journeys longer. Roger's decision to be open about her cancer diagnosis, encouraged by Godfrey's gentle wisdom, became an act of courage that benefited not just herself, but countless others. Every person who heard her story and felt less alone in their own struggle. Every cancer patient who saw her continue fighting and found renewed determination. Every family member caring for someone with a serious illness who felt validated in their own exhaustion and fear. A story of hope and healing. Today, Suzanne Rogers stands as a testament to the power of medical treatment, personal determination, and unwavering support. She made it through her cancer treatment and returned to work, bringing Maggie Horton back to life on screen with the same warmth and depth that has made the character beloved for decades. But she carries with her something additional now: a deeper understanding of vulnerability, the knowledge that she was held up by others when she needed it most, and the lived experience of choosing openness over isolation. The bond between Rogers and Godfrey emerged from this trial stronger than before. They had faced one of life's greatest challenges together and discovered that their friendship could bear the weight. They learned that being there for someone doesn't require having all the answers or fixing everything's remedies. It simply means showing up, speaking truth with gentleness, and refusing to let someone struggle alone in the darkness. What we can learn. This story offers lessons that extend far beyond the glamorous world of television. For those of us in our later years who have lived long enough to know that life brings unexpected challenges and that our bodies don't always cooperate with our plans, the example set by Rogers and Godfrey provides a roadmap for navigating difficult times. First, it reminds us that asking for help and accepting support isn't weakness, it's wisdom. We were never meant to face life's hardest moments alone. The people who care about us want to help. They want to walk beside us. By letting them in, we don't burden them, honor the relationship, and give them the gift of being able to show their love through action. Second, it shows us the profound impact of encouragement. Godfrey's gentle nudging helped Rogers make a decision that ultimately strengthened her throughout her treatment. Sometimes the people around us can see possibilities we can't envision from within our fear. Listening to their wisdom can open doors we didn't know existed. Third, it demonstrates that the relationships we build over time, the chosen family we accumulate through years of showing up for each other, become lifelines when crisis strikes. These bonds don't form overnight. They're built in the small moments, the ordinary days, the countless interactions that seem unremarkable until you need to draw on their strength. Finally, it reminds us that sharing our struggles doesn't diminish, it connects us to the larger human experience. When we're honest about our challenges, we give others permission to be honest about theirs. We create space for authentic connection. We remind each other that we're all walking this journey together, and none of us have to pretend to have it all figured out. Moving forward together. As Days of Our Lives celebrated its 60th anniversary, the show reflected not just its longevity as a television program, but the real relationships that have formed among its cast and crew over the decades. The story of Suzanne Rogers' cancer battle and Lindsay Godfrey's steady support is just one thread in a larger tapestry of human connection that has sustained the show through 6 decades of change. But it's a thread that shines particularly bright, reminding us all of what matters most when everything else falls away. Not fame or success or appearances, but the simple, profound gift of not being alone. The strength that comes from knowing someone has your back. The courage that emerges when a friend's voice cuts through your fear with words of truth and encouragement.